Enjoy the company of our first guest, one of our sponsors, actually. We thank you for being a sponsor. Please put your hands together and welcome Mr. Michael Bogart from Aspect Ministries. How you doing, sir?
Hey, good to see you, Feather.
Glad you can join us today. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Yeah,
How about you?
It's been a while, man. I don't know. I'm a little stiff. I think I tweaked my back earlier today, and I have to play in a basketball game.
Oh, man. I'm telling you, you can do that.
I don't know. We'll see how that works out. But it's been a while since you've been here. Let's get the people caught up to speed on who you are and what you do.
Right. Well, I founded, back in 2012, I founded Aspect Ministries. I was a pastor for many, many years down in a place called Lemoore, California, just Kings County, just to the south. And I was a pastor there for many years. And I started teaching community college on the side and found out I loved that as well. And I started interacting with young people, and it was 25 years ago I started. So I figured that I had this kind of unique skill set of somebody who's been in ministry, understands how Christian faith works, ins and outs, ups and downs, as well as somebody who understands young people on the college campus, how they think, how they interact, and somebody that over the years has been somewhat successful in communicating Christian faith to that generation. And I figured with that unique skill set, I needed to do something to really concentrate on that. And so that's what Aspect Ministries is all about.
So it's a different approach to it, more of you have an ability to actually relate to the younger generation.
I think so. I mean, they haven't fired me yet. And it's an adjunct post, and so that means I'm a part-time college teacher and do ministry full-time and that sort of thing. But I just got hired on now by College of the Sequoias down in Visalia.
Well,
so
congratulations.
So I mean, I've got at least that much experience to add to it, and I really enjoy it. I like the young people, and I like the questions they ask, and I like being a Christian who can actually function on a secular college campus as an authentic Christian, but also to be able to interact with all kinds of other ideas without judgment and without without trying to push my views inappropriately.
And that's the gift. Actually, it's a blessing on top of that, because a lot of times so many are quick to judge when they are not the same as them, and it's hard to get them to come, not just to say convince them to, but show them the way by actions, instead of just sitting there, well, you need to be doing, and you shouldn't. No, sometimes that can drive them away.
As I go around to churches and I talk to Christian people, and as I talk to young people, probably the interaction that I get the most from young people is, those people are judgmental and they don't love people and they're haters, which of course that's an exaggeration. There may be some people out there like that, but most Christian people are really pretty good folks, but there's this thing now, especially among that generation, that really is sensitive to Christians maybe overstepping boundaries or pushing ideas. And that's one thing that I think we need to deal with, at least in terms of, as Christian people, we need to deal with that. I mean, we've got a message that we should not be ashamed of. I'm no way ashamed of the message. But sometimes the way in which we present that message or how we go about communicating that message can seem offensive to some people. And I think that's something we need to think long and hard about, how we do that without retracting the message, without being ashamed of it, without being silenced, but at the same time realizing that there are a number of different ways that you can communicate something, and some of them are much more resonating with people than others.
And I think that most effective, instead of just pushing it on someone, is more like introducing it to them and more explaining it. Because I know I'm not gonna lie, I hang out with a little bit of everybody, and one of the things that I hear is that it's a little preachy instead of informative, if that makes any sense at all.
Well, sure. Preachy implies, condemnation, or not condemnation, but, implying that you need to conform your ideas to what we're saying, and more of a conversation. I like this show, my conversation. Christians have the ability to have conversations with people that really are meaningful, and yet if they become preachy, then a lot of times the walls go up and the ears kind of turn off the message.
And with your schedule and getting the word out everywhere, you must be one busy man. That's
Well, yeah, my wife thinks so anyway.
Well, I'm not going to get you in trouble with that one, because I know the more campuses you pick up, the more time away from home you have to spend, and that's what it's all an appreciation, and really appreciate you spreading the gospel. I know you're a little bit of everywhere. Tell us real quick before we cut the break, because you're going to be with us for a couple of segments.
Yes,
so
indeed.
We got plenty of time for this one. Tell us a little bit about where you're coming up. Where will you be next? And where can we catch you out as far as spreading the gospel next?
Well, I have, of course, this show I'm starting back in again
Awesome.
as a regular. That's one thing I've added. I also have a website that I'm doing a lot of blogging and podcasting on, aspectministries.com, so I think that's probably where you need to look for me.
Love it.
The thing that I have really been focusing on, I'm almost done with my doctorate. I just about finished it with Liberty University, and it's very rigorous. I'm in the last stages of writing my dissertation, so hopefully sometime in the next month I'll be able to come on this show and we'll have a party of some kind that I've finished.
We'll
I'll be able to
some
really
type of celebration out, because that's a lot of hard work, right?
We'll have some 7-Up or something. I don't know.
Spike it with some Hawaiian punch. We'll have
Hawaiian
some 7-Up and we'll.
Hey, you know, Liberty's gone up in terms of the NCAA. They're
Really?
moving up rankings, and they beat Baylor this last weekend. Yes. They used to be playing things like, you know, Carolina Coastal. I mean, people you never heard of before.
Schools you've never heard of.
And they beat Baylor last weekend by 3 points. I mean, it was an exciting game. So they're moving up. They're becoming a real power. Just a little plug for my university.
Just a little bit with you. Look, we're going to get more into it right after we come back from these messages. You guys don't go anywhere. We got more of my conversation coming up right after this.